Okay, so let's take a look at how you can install sample data and also import data into the Couchbase database. So first thing, make sure that you have Couchbase installed. If not, you can simply go to couchbase.com and go to download section, and here you will find the community server edition. Simply download it for your OS. In my case it was Windows, so I downloaded and installed it. Make sure to run the installer through admin mode so that it won't cause any issues. Once you do that, next thing would be to simply starting the server, right? And here you will have to set up your username and password at first. Once you go through that process, you can log in as normal, right? Now here you can see I logged into the Couchbase dashboard. Next thing would be to checking out the buckets, right? So Couchbase would be holding your data into the bucket. So the sample ones are these three, and I created a bucket, right? So it needs data of its own. Currently it does not have any data, so to create a new bucket, simply click on add bucket, right? Here you can see all the RAM in cluster is allocated, so we will have to delete some of the buckets, so we will hold it for now. So what we can do is, we already have the bucket, we will go to documents. So here you see we have the shop data bucket where we don't have any content. So what we can do here is, we can either manually add the document and assign the ID by simply putting in JSON data, right? And then clicking on save should create new document. Second option, clicking on import tab, right? Now here you can see I have option to upload CSV data, TSV, JSON, list and lines. So to create this specific data, what I can do, I can simply go to some mock data software, right? So Mockro is one of that, and here you have fields like ID, name, city, EIN, email. So say I want to have like 100 rows of data, right? And it has the format of JSON, right? If you preview this, you will find it line by line, so you will be able to import it through JSON list or JSON lines, right? And here you can choose this array option if you want to have proper array view of that data, but I unchecked it because I wanted it in line format. You can also uncheck the null values because we don't want null values, right? And next thing would be choosing the format. So here you have JSON, CSV and tab delimited, so between the three you can choose. So we'll take a look at both JSON as well as this CSV format, right? So if we download this, you will have file something like this, mock.json, right? So we will try and see if we choose to import it and choose mock.json, and we use JSON's lines found 100 records, right? On the right hand side you can see it will start from city, EIN, email, ID, right, and name, right? If you want to import to a specific key space, you can choose that, right, and choose the defaults underscore default, then import with document ID. So UUID becomes the default. If you have any value there, you can choose ID. So here you can see this ID becomes our document ID, right? So next thing would be to simply importing this data, right? So we managed to import it. Next we will go to documents part and we will retrieve the result, and we will find all the data listed here, right? And if we click on that particular ID, it will show you city and email, ID and name. Metadata will show a different ID for that meta, right? So this was specific for your importing of data in JSON format, right? So here currently we don't have much of option to delete from here, but let's see if we can delete something like this. So we will go to field editing and let's try now select all. Unfortunately it doesn't give you much of these editing options, so right, so we keep on doing that. And okay, so manual will have to delete everything. We will be only be deleting some of it. So let's try and import CSV and override this. Okay, so what we can do here is we can go to mock data, and here I will try and have different means of ID. So we have random data or number. Let's say we want to add some digit sequence, let's say for specific number, right? So we'll go with that. So here you can see GUID, and that can be one of the options for unique ID, right? So if we preview this and try to view this, let's see, we have like that unique ID, right? So I will try to get this in CSV format, right? Okay, so we have like 100 rows again. If we choose to download this, it will download into mock data CSV. So let's rename this to couch something, right? So couch data CSV, right? Now I want to import this into dashboard, so I will have to select the file first and click open. Next would be, here you can see found 100 records, value of field I can keep the ID, and next would be importing the data, right? Because we already see how the data looks and all the fields are pretty much however we wanted, and you have option to see past table, JSON and raw file, right? So we have like that option there. So if we click on import, the data will go through, and if we go to documents, and here we see, so that data is now added. You will notice the difference between the previous ID and the current one, because MD5 was used in the last underscore ID option, and this one's we are using the different MID option, right? So now we have like unique documents that way. So you can test this out and use this sample data for manipulating your Couchbase database, right? So another thing you can do is, let's take a look at import option. Here you manage to get JSON data CSV. If you want to get TSV data, simply select tab delimited. So macro is pretty much a good option for you to. Okay, so here you can see the TSV data that you can upload as well. So that's one more option that you have. You can use CSV, TSV, JSON, and based on how you format the JSON, it will be either list or lines. You will get the content viewed here and makes it easy to import. Alternatively, you can use command line tool cbimport, and then you can use CSV JSON as your option, right? But it's very difficult method to go through, because a lot of people find it harder to clean up with command lines. So using the dashboard and web interface is much better option that you can try out.